So moved.
Second.
Motion is second to approve those minutes. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. And these minutes are approved. Before we go any further, I'd like to announce that this board met yesterday in executive session to discuss personnel matters. So, we'll move along to, I'm sorry, I forgot Sally. Mr. Neuin,
Okay.
you have the floor.
Good morning. We had receipts on September 2nd and 3rd of $1,340,307.20. That brought us to a total cash of $3,492,956.03. We had expenditures of $2,419,075.38. Tax lien is $87,153.84, leaving us $986,726.81. Excuse me.
Motion to approve as presented.
Second.
Motion is second. Questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Thank you.
Thank you. Michelle.
Good morning, Michelle Snavely, Director of Human Resources. Under Personnel Transactions, Resignations and Terminations, Mary Bross, Full-Time Aging Case A2, Area Agency on Aging, resignation effective August 26th. Minerva Cadiz, Caseworker 2 and Children and Youth, resignation effective September 8th. David Eichler, Ranger at Clarence Shock Memorial, termination effective August 25th. Michael Knoll, Full-Time Telecommunicator at the Department of Emergency Services, resignation effective August 20th. Christina Shiflett, Collections Officer and Probation Services, resignation effective August 25th. And Joy Scarborough, Deputy Voter Registration, resignation effective November 14th.
I make a motion to accept the resignations and terminations, and I'm really sad to lose Joy Scarborough. I thought she was so good as a deputy director, but I understand.
I'll second the motion, including the sentiments about Joy's departure.
Yes, she will be very difficult to replace, but thank her for her service. Any other questions or comments? None, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Under leaves of absence, Heather May from Renova, 5-day all-unpaid leave of absence effective September 29th with a return date of October 4th.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion is second. Questions or comments? None, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. We have that approval.
Under changes of status, transfers, and promotions, I have a motion to eliminate the ranger position at the Clarence Shock Memorial effective immediately.
So moved.
Second the motion.
Motion is second. Questions or comments? None, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. And that approval.
Jamie Harris, promotion from Office Support 2 in Probation Services to Probation Officer 1 in Probation Services at the rate of $2,155.75 biweekly effective September 15th.
Also move.
Second.
Motion is second. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. We have that approval.
Under other transactions, President Judge Towalk would like to hire Riva Milani as a law librarian / protection from abuse clerk / interpreter 1 at the rate of $1,077.13 biweekly with $125 per month interpreter stipend effective September 8th. The Department of Emergency Services would like to hire the following 5 full-time telecommunicators, all at the rate of $19.28 per hour, all effective September 8th, and that is Aaron Marks, Jackson Strickler, Nezden Arias, Jaylene Rincon, Stefania Davis. President Judge Towalk would like to hire Elia Ward as an Office Support 2 at the rate of $1,154.07 weekly effective September 8th. President Judge Towalk would, I'm sorry, that's with Probation Services. President Judge Towalk would like to hire Brianna Hope as a Collections Clerk at Probation Services at the rate of $1,240.62 biweekly effective September 15th. And President Judge Towalk would like to hire Heather White as a Collections Officer with Probation Services at the rate of $1,333.65 and 67 cents biweekly effective September 8th.
I make a motion to approve the other transactions as presented.
I'll second the motion.
Motion is second. Questions or comments? All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
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 Pose same sign. You have that approved for those transactions.
Moving on to salary board, motion to approve all transactions previously read plus the following. Jonathan Holland, longevity payment, Assistant District Attorney 1 at the District Attorney's Office, a one-time payment of $2,500 effective September 19th. David Mowry, longevity payment, Probation Officer 2/Assistant Supervisor with Probation Services at the rate of $2,473.10 effective September 19th.
Second?
Motion is second. Questions, comments? None. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. You have that approval.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else?
Nope.
No.
Long time no
Okay,
see.
good morning. If you would, please introduce yourself for the record, and then you may proceed.
Thank you, Commissioner Coon. I'm Tom Kotay, Lebanon Valley Rail Trail Board member, and I do most of the grant writing for the organization and on behalf of the county. I think all of you should have received a packet of information from me about this grant application. There's some for the media. By tomorrow, we need to apply for a PennDOT grant in a program called Transportation Alternative Set Aside, or TASA. This application process is a two-stage process where you submit a pre-application by a certain date, which is close of business tomorrow, and then PennDOT reviews the information and gets back to you asking for any additional clarifications. And by the end of October, we have to submit finally. But in your packet is a summary of the project, again, 5.5 miles long. A lot of different aspects to this project. Paving in certain portions of the trail. We're going to be paving the culvert trailhead. We're going to be dramatically improving the drainage and the swales and all the aspects of how we move stormwater through the area. Culverts have been a problem for us, so we're going to be upgrading those. New signs at roadway crossings like Butler Road, new pavement markings. We want to make sure the trail, as it gets heavier and heavier use, is more and more safe. A lot of crossings, a lot of people involved in that, and that gets us to making sure that we're doing the right things as we cross those sections of the trail and the roadways. We've done some preliminary engineering to date, and I think that's one of our success stories. We do a lot of preliminary engineering through Wilson Consulting Group. That gets us a good scope of work, a good project detail, and when we get into construction, there's very few surprises. So we have some money in for preliminary engineering and environmental clearance. We're asking you, the county commissioners, to use an amount of ARPA funds to be the final design, and PennDOT pays for all of construction. This is a unique program where the applicant, if he or she or they are approved, they have to get the project ready for construction, ready for a bid letting, and then PennDOT pays everything else. And this is a very costly project, $1.613 million. I've talked to folks at PennDOT, they're not surprised by that. They think that's a figure that can be fundable. And as you look at the handout, I say inflation, contingencies, construction inspection, all of those costs are according to PennDOT standards, and they're in the construction estimate. In your packet also is our September update, the one-page update. That's just for your information. And we always like providing you with our map that details where we are with our phases and, you know, how much more work remains. And really, beyond this October and November, we'll be going after a grant for Phase 6D, get us behind the mall. And when that's approved, the only section we need to fund is Phase 8. But for some of you, I know you want that to happen sooner than later, but it looks like Phase 8 won't go to construction until 2028. Don't throw anything at me, but
Hey, we just appreciate all you're doing, so.
well, good. But it is 2028. We still have a number of properties to acquire. Jamie's well aware of the work we're doing right now with Matt and the property owners in Phase 8. A lot of work there to be done, grant application to submit. That's about a $4 million project, all of Phase 8. And we think with PennDOT and DCNR funding, that's very doable. But back to this project, we're looking for your approval to submit the pre-application. And again, I must do that by close of business tomorrow. That's it. Questions?
I just have one on your, you mentioned that what's going to be last, Phase 8, I guess, or can you tell me, is that dwindled down to one option, or are we still looking at other options there? Because we had put forth more than one option.
We did a detailed study many, many years ago called the North Corridor Study, and that posed a number of options. Since then, we've refined that, Commissioner, and we want to be on the old railroad grade alignment. That's where we're focused. That's where Matt is reaching out to the property owners to either acquire easements or outright sales of the land we need. No, we want to remain on
So that's the
railroad
final.
grade. That is the final one.
Okay, and
Yep.
the area going through 72 where it crosses over, how wide is that right-of-way? I mean, there's properties there that question, and I just wondered, do they have enough property that we could maybe lift up their houses and move them back away from the trail a bit to offer something as a compromise there?
I don't know the answer to your question, but we can surely have Nate McCullough and others at the staff look at that in detail. But first, we've got to get through this process of negotiating with the property owners. And then if they're amenable and we can work out, you know, a fair and reasonable settlement with them, then we can look at all of those issues in final design.
Okay.
In final design. But I would say that if Mark Wilson was sitting here or Nate McCullough, they would say, we have enough right-of-way to do what we need to do on the existing railroad grade.
So you're not imposing on the properties at all?
Well, some of the property owners do have, that own the property outright, may have put a shed on the rail trail or something like that, but there isn't a major structure on the rail trail bed,
Okay.
on the bed.
I'd like to,
Two things, but if I could just follow on that one. So are there property owners you know of that feel that their house is on where the trail is going to be?
Well-
Because we've had, since the inception of the trail, we've had neighboring property owners who initially feel like that trail's gonna be too close to me, I'm not going to like that. Now, we're on a case that once the trail goes in, people are grateful and say, this is wonderful, I'm glad the trail's here. So I don't know if it's a matter of people who believe that they are on the property or that it's just the proximity to it.
Yeah, and I have not had a direct conversation, but there were comments that were exchanged. And so I just wondered if how much land they had behind them, could we move it back and increase that distance so that there would be more, how can I say, that they would be more cooperative?
Well, and on properties where there is concern or tension about a lot of rail trail use in their backyard, you know, we've put up fencing, we've put up shrubbery, we've done all sort of things to screen that away from property owners. So those are things we can look at as well as we get further down
I was
the
gonna
road.
say, that's a topic for another time. If we wanna have that discussion, we can schedule a time to look at all the details associated with that and see if there's any real concerns there. But, In the meantime, it has nothing to do with your request today, it's just a future.
Well,
I'd like to move
It's a
Yeah.
future consideration.
the only reason I brought it up is because there was talk of eminent domain, and I don't know that that would be necessary if we already own the trail. But again, I thought maybe we could cool the resistance.
No, I think you
Not
probably
aware of
just
any talk of eminent domain or anything, we're here to focus on this for today, but like I said, if we'll revisit that, we'll look at the whole picture and involve everybody, but, we'll entertain, I think you were trying to, place a motion?
For a motion to approve this pre-approval for Mr. Chairman.
Second?
Okay, now, are there questions or comments?
Yeah, a couple questions about this project, Tom.
Sure.
One, is there going to be paving involved? Because I know it says some paving on poor drainage areas, but will that portion south of Butler Road be totally paved or just certain areas?
Certain areas of it will be paved, and I can get you those details if you'd like to see those, but essentially it's in areas where we've had drainage issues before, and where we're constantly going back and having to regrade, re-put down stone dust, and compact that surface. So there's like 3 areas from Butler Road south to the county line where on the trail we need to pave. We need to pave.
Was it ever considered to pave the whole thing? And if so, what was that projected cost?
No, it wasn't, because it's interesting. So many bike riders like the experience of riding on that trail dust, that compacted surfaces. And we're a little bit concerned, e-bikes are on the rise. And if you give them a more of a comfortable surface, they won't be riding at 15 miles an hour, they'll be riding at 40 miles an hour. So,
But they're already prohibited for being on the trail, right?
yeah, anything but a phase, the level 1 bikes can be on the rail trail, but we're experiencing every day people that violate that. So we need to be very careful about where we pave and when we pave, especially on the long straightaways. When we have those, people really aren't following our rules.
So you minimize the where it's done, but there are times where repeated maintenance requires a harder, more permanent surface.
Yep.
And that's what you're looking at.
And that's what really needs to be happening at the Colebrook Trailhead. We're in there all the time, regrading and putting down new stone dust. And now we're gonna be making that lot a little bit smaller, but we're gonna pave the entire lot. And we think that's better for the folks coming in to use the facility.
The other question was, and maybe Jamie can speak to this as well, it's talking about county ARPA funds. I thought those were all expended.
I was gonna mention that, that was my second point, was just to mention that that's a pre-approved amount. They were approved an amount by the
You
commissioners.
had to do that by the end of the year.
Yeah, so
But again,
they're
last
just kind of drawing on that
Oh.
number that was originally approved, yeah.
Is
Because
that,
there's a remainder to it.
is that the total balance that the county had set aside at 144, or is there still additional
I'm
funds?
not sure after whatever this number is, I'm not sure.
There probably is still a small balance, but that's not for us to say how that gets used. That's at your purview.
Well, it'll still go to
The final
this.
report is due this year, correct, for all ARPA expenditures? Is that
No,
26,
no,
work has to be
next-
completed?
Our allocations were due by the end of '24, which we've done.
Oh,
Now
okay.
we're still just doing the quarterly reports of expenditures as they get spent.
There wasn't-
I'm not sure when a final would be, probably in 2027.
I thought it was the end of this year,
No, end of '26 is when they have to be.
and 26.
In 26, they have to be spent, I
Yes,
believe.
yes.
Matt Shippey said yes.
Do we have any other questions about
No.
this specific question? Just want to comment, Tom, you mentioned earlier that you coordinate the grant applications. I want to say you're humble, you do it very well, but again, I look at this, the rail trail, as we are blessed in Lebanon County. Yourself, but all your other board members, good people, good stewards, you have great volunteers. I remember talking to John Wengert, other counties have to hire a lot of people, that we have people that volunteer, and a tree goes down in the dead of winter. He said they're already out there before we even are aware of it and taking care of it, so we really are blessed, and it makes it easier. People comment to us and thank us for our support. It makes it easier to support a great project that's a real asset in Lebanon County, so thank you.
Yeah, well, on that maintenance, side of things, we're actually growing our team. It's getting younger and younger and more professional as the years go by. We were concerned about that initially. Are these oldsters, how are they gonna be replaced? And John and others have found ways to bring in a whole new group of men and women that are doing an amazing job. So thank you.
That's the word I think of, is our volunteers are amazing.
They are.
I ditto that.
Mike said it as well as anyone could have, but thank you also from my side of it. We really appreciate everybody's work out there. It's
You're very welcome.
always high quality, and that's what keeps the money flowing, because the credibility of this team. So,
Well, we talk about it a lot at board meetings, and I can get emotional about this, but we're sort of awestruck about your commitment. When there was right-of-way issues and we had to deal with George Christensen, and it got pretty tense at times, you guys were there and supported us and weathered the storm. And now we're getting very close to completing this, so we can look back with pride, I think, on all we've done.
I did think of a question. Was that last issue at the beginning of the phase from, trying to think of the name of the road, but there was a mortgage that the company wouldn't cooperate to get it straightened out? Was that taken care of?
It's very close to being resolved, but it hasn't been finally resolved yet.
Okay.
Between the estate and the bank
Yeah.
and us, some things have to be worked out on who gets the funds that we're going to be providing to pay for the purchase of that right of way. So it's still about an $80,000 plus issue, and we believe half is going to go to the estate and half is going to go to the bank. But we don't know those details yet, but we're getting close. And that's John
Compromise,
Wanger working
yeah.
on that. And Matt's probably been involved in that Carpenter property.
Yeah, we're like 99% of the way there for Carpenter.
Wonderful. That's like a good compromise.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you.
Any
Thank you.
additional questions or comments?
Sorry that took.
All in favor of the motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. And have that approval.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom.
Good morning, ladies. Adrian, if you would introduce yourself and your team, and then you may proceed.
All right, I'm Adrian Macer, the Administrator at Office of Aging. I'm going to address one thing that is not related to these ladies being here, but this is Stacia Mohr and Cynthia Gartman, who's a part of the Aging Roadway Festival Committee, so I'll let them speak then. Let me just end up addressing first what I'm presenting today. The Office of Aging is presenting a proposal for CertaPro painters who are certified and approved for contractors, approved by as contractors through CoStars. The proposal is to paint the main lobby area of the Lebanon County Area Agency on Aging building and to paint the ground floor, hallway, and both stairwells. The main entrance is being renovated to include a lobby with main receptionist and an automatic handicap accessible bathroom door. The hallway on the ground floor and stairwells need repainted to repair paint that has been pulled off after COVID-19 stickers were removed. The painting will also brighten and provide a safer, more inviting atmosphere while walking through the hallway, stairwells, and the lobby. The estimated cost would be $12,930.29 for the lobby, stairwells, and ground floor hallway. The cost would be a part of Lebanon County Area Agency on Aging's maintenance expenses to maintain the building.
Looks like you have work going on already.
Yeah, trying to.
It's a good job.
Motion?
Second?
Motion is second to approve that request. Questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. We have that approval.
Thank you. The next thing I'd like to address is Lebanon County Area Agency on Aging and the Aging Norway Committee would like the support from the county commissioners and the county administrator for Lebanon County to recognize Ageism Awareness Day. So let me just say a little bit about what Ageism Awareness Day is. In Pennsylvania, the Ageism Awareness Day is celebrated on October 9th every year, and this year it's being celebrated on October 9th, 2025, which is the same day that we're having our Aging Norway Festival. The day aims to raise awareness about ageism and encourage actions to challenge and dismantle ageist attitudes and behaviors in society. Additionally, Age Without Limit Days took place on June 11th, 2025, focusing on celebrating aging and challenging negative stereotypes. These events are part of the ongoing effort to promote age inclusivity and awareness across the state. So what we're asking is that for the commissioners and the county administrator to sign and accept our proclamation to be recognized every year on October 9th. This year, again, it will be recognized at our Aging Norway Festival, which is October 9th, 2025, and it was formerly known as the 50 Plus Festival.
Make a motion to approve the Ageism Awareness Proclamation.
I'll second the motion.
Motion is second. Questions or comments? Just have a comment. You said October 9th is Aging Awareness Day. Don't just do it on October 9th. I'm aware of doing it every morning when I try to get out of bed to send my back. So I don't need a special day, but I'll go along with it anyway. So, any other questions or comments? If not, all in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. We have that approval.
All right, thank you. So the 50 Plus Festival was rebranded to the Aging Norway Festival. And this is the new rebranding year for it, which is again October 9th, 2025. We wanted to get away from a number which causes ageism and make it more about a celebration. So I will let Cynthia, Gartman, and Stacia Mohr end up presenting a little bit more about what our Aging Norway Festival will be like this year.
Thank you for having us today. As I said, my name is Cynthia Gartman, and I've been working with the festival since about 2016, I guess. So it's something that we're really passionate about, and making sure that Lebanon County has this wonderful independent festival. It is a project of the Community Health Council, and really appreciate all the work that Nikki Gray does for the festival and for the Community Health Council. So we appreciate the proclamation so very much, and would really love for, if possible, for Jamie or one of the commissioners to be at the festival and have us read the proclamation aloud and just be able to say thanks publicly to you all, if that would be possible. The festival runs from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. We're happy to put it any time during that day. We would love to put it earlier in the day when I think that there is more attendance, there's higher attendance in the mornings. But having said that, happy to slate you guys in whenever you have time. We just need to know how to coordinate that with you, with somebody to be there.
And we also have an opportunity that if you are there earlier in the day, we have WQIC Froggy Lebanon Valley on site, and we would love for the proclamation to go live over the radio during one of our spots, if we can coordinate that.
Why don't you suggest a time?
Would 10:45 work? Because I have that. On the 9th.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yes.
That way we can get it on our calendars.
Yes,
That would be
absolutely.
lovely.
I'm sure at least one of us, or if not all of us,
Yeah,
could
yeah.
be there.
Yeah.
We can let you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's the expo.
Yes. We are doing a lot of new things this year with the festival. We're trying to take this, one of the common complaints about a senior expo is that it's trick-or-treating for seniors. And while that's going to be always a component of any kind of event, we don't want it to be the reason people come to the event or the reason that they're leaving with big bags of stuff, right? We want it to be more of a holistic experience. So this year we're doing a lot of partnering with differing organizations to add what we call health and wellness components to the festival. So I had no idea that the PA tool library existed. I didn't know that it did. It was an education for me. The PA tool library will be there, and they're going to be allowing the attendees to build either a birdhouse or a planter on site and take it home with them. So that kind of gives you an idea. We have roaming pet visits. We're having a 3K, a 3-mile walk, I should say 3K, 3-mile walk this year, which will be a first for us. We have painting classes coming with very famous Lebanon painter, Katie Trainer. Yep, she's going to be there, and she's going to be teaching classes for the attendees that day for free. We have chair massages, manicures, haircuts being provided by Lebanon County Career and Technical Institute. We have them doing food demonstrations as well as demonstrations from Penn State Extension. Winter preps such as preparing your garden or house for winter. A conversation corner that we're really excited about from Lebanon Transit. They're going to have a friendship band there, and we're going to talk about building intentional relationships. One of the most unfortunate parts of getting older is that the people you know pass away. And before you know it, you're lonely, and that means you start going out less, and that means you're more homebound, and that means that you stop living as fully, and it means your physical health and your mental health really deteriorate. We want to try to address that firsthand. So that's some of the reasons we're really, really excited about this year's festival.
Yeah, when we took on the rebranding, we also really took a big, in-depth look at what are the needs of people as we age and how do we meet each of those needs, and trying to put together an interactive component to address their social needs, their emotional welfare, their physical welfare, and really give it an all-encompassing holistic view throughout. And of course we have great entertainment like we've always had. We have Eric Walla coming from the Uptown Band, and we have the Swing Time Gals and Chris Boje, and a great band called The Remedy. So we have we've updated our music as well. So while some of the music will go back to the 40s, most of it is coming forward because our aging population is younger these days. We really wanted people to see that 40, 50 wasn't old. I interestingly had a conversation with someone yesterday, with a fellow vendor, and he said to me, you know, it's funny, he lived in New York, and he said 50 in New York and 50 in Lebanon are not the same thing. And we really want to move everyone to that mentality of vitality, and just aging isn't getting old. It's just a new chapter.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, you guys are so enthusiastic. I'm sure not just me, but the reporters would love to spell your name right. Do you mind?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Cynthia is Cynthia. Gartman is G as in golf, ARTMAN. I'm the publisher of Seniors Blue Book and also the director of the Alliance for Low Income Personal Care Home Advancement.
And the chair of the committee.
And the chair, yes, of the committee.
And how about you?
And my name is Stacia Mohr. It's STACIAMOHR. I'm the president of Smart Marketing and Media and the vice chair of the committee.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Any questions?
Just a comment about the tool library. I'm not sure how well known that is, but maybe the media could follow up on that if they haven't already.
Absolutely.
That's Doug from the VA is a very
Yes.
prominent part of that.
Yeah, it's amazing. They will lend tools, power and non-power tools, to anyone inside Pennsylvania. And so if someone is trying to do a home renovation, maybe it's their first home, their starter home, and they don't have whatever they might need for that, they can actually get those tools from the PA Tool Library. It's really amazing.
And there are two others, I think, in the region. So there is a model for this that is very successful. So I think that Doug is onto a good thing there.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, Doug Etter at the VA talked about that
Okay.
bringing one local. So I don't know.
Oh, nice.
I don't know if it's happening, but I have
Okay.
to check with him.
Very cool, yes, absolutely, absolutely. If there's any more detail about the festival, I did just take the kind of typical report I give to the Community Health Council and type it up for you guys. I'm just gonna leave it with Jamie, and if you want this additional information, you're more than welcome to it.
Thank you.
Checked, and it's on my schedule for October 9th, so at least one of us. Good Lord willing, the creek don't rise, as they say. But, well, again, thank you for your time and your passion for this. I recall being involved in the planning of the first festival, when the hospital was very,
So I should
very
say
much
this is the
involved.
26th annual.
Well, I was gonna say, I'm trying to, and I'm thinking, boy, 50, when will I be able to go to this thing? That's in the rearview mirror now, but anyway, it's nice to see we continue to build upon this concept to see what the needs are and then try to meet the needs, so thank you.
You're welcome.
I like the trick or treat reference, that was very apropos. I mean, I've always thought that you guys have home with their
It is
rulers
what
and
we
pens,
call it.
how many do you need?
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Very
you.
good luck, let us know how we can help in any way.
I have half a dozen things to go over. Some will take a little bit of time, and others are quick. The first one, have Joe Connor here with Beers Hoffman Architects, and we are here today to recommend bids for the first phase of courthouse renovations, phase 1A. And this particular phase involves the public defenders and the assessment office. And bids were solicited, advertised, received, opened, reviewed, and we're here today to make a recommendation for this particular one for phase 1A. There were three prime contracts to this. General construction, mechanical, and electrical. Unfortunately, we didn't receive any electrical bids at all. A pretty healthy number of general construction, a couple of mechanicals, and again, no electrical. So, before we get into recommending these numbers, I did provide you with an email that Joe copied us on, that went out to the recommended general and the electrical, soliciting both of them at this point, I'm sorry, mechanical, soliciting both of them to propose a subcontractor to engage as a change order, I guess it would be at this point. And we did run this by our solicitor, by the way. We've met all the obligations of bidding this, we made the attempt, there was no response to it, so we can safely now just move on and
Pick somebody.
hire someone. So we're gonna wait for that. That, of course, introduces a little bit of competition where they're both gonna give us a number, hopefully. Maybe we won't even get, I don't know where they'll put us. We think we will, okay. And then we'll go on from there. As far as the estimates go, we're still in the range that they predicted, depending on where the electrical comes in. We just don't know at this point. So, with that, there were 5 bids for the general construction from Bolton Construction, Gem Construction, Funk Construction, Woodland Contractors, and Uric Construction. There were 2 alternates that we sought prices on, in addition to the overall, one being the installation of solid surface countertops rather than laminate countertops, a little more durable in high use areas and so on. So we put that out as an alternate. If those numbers came in reasonably, then we would like to select that, and as well as provide and install window blinds. Window blinds would go in either way. It's a matter of whether or not the contractor does it or whether we do it with our own maintenance staff here. My view on that is that once you are handed over a brand new fresh space, if someone goes in and does an install and makes a blemish or messes it up, it's on us versus on the contractor. So those actually made a difference in the bids. The low base bidder originally was Woodland Contractor, but the low base bid is Woodland Contractor at $289,217 for the general contract. But when you factor in the alternates, which we would like to do because we believe they are an affordable alternate, the countertop, solid surface countertops with funk would be $4,988, and window blinds $3,636. All combined, that rate makes funk the lower of the bids because Woodland's alternates were higher. So, so we're recommending that. Anything else to add to that?
No,
I should come in and then I'm sitting here doing all the talking.
That's quite right. That's quite right. You're doing a great job. They are value-added alternates, and we recommend them.
And then for the mechanical, we had 2 bids. They were pretty far apart. No real explanation for that. I mean, sometimes contractors are just ready for the work and become more competitive, but we had Shannon A. Smith being the low on that at $196,600. Vision Mechanical came in at $318,000 even, so there was quite a spread there, but we're here to recommend Shannon A. Smith. So overall, recommending Funk Construction at $298,997 plus the alternate 1 of $4,988 for the solid surface countertops, and the alternate 2 for window blinds at $3,636, and Shannon Smith at $196,600. I'll answer.
And they're all local.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have good local.
Well, I'll gladly make a motion for the lowest bidders, who happen to be from Lebanon County.
Any alternates?
And the alternates, yes.
Yes.
I second the motion.
Motion and second. Any questions, comments? I think, Jamie, this has been a long process to get to this point
We're
since
just
we
getting
had
started.
vacant space, but to try to identify even the priorities and what's going first, and I know to avoid any disturbing any asbestos that might be in places. So again, I know a lot of painstaking work went into just getting to this point.
Yeah, this first part, by the way, is in the newer part of the building, newest part of the building. Say new, even though it's 25 years old. So we don't anticipate encountering any hazardous materials or anything like that in this phase. But as we go on here, from here until the end of next year, this is going to be, it's a total of four phases, but even some of those are broken down in A and B. So we will be getting into that, and this sort of kicks off the domino. We're going to be going into the next phases, and there's some of that is because we have to shuffle one department to get the work done, and you can't get the other one in until that space is done, and it's just going to be a lot of logistics here on out. But this is the first phase. Next phase would be CYS, Sheriff, and the old DES space downstairs. Then we'll go on to District Attorney, Victim Witness, more Children Youth Services. Phase 3 is Election, Human Resources Solicitor. Phase 4, Law Library, Court Admin, etc. So, a lot more.
Do we know if the hesitation on electrical is because of unknown upgrades to the code that they have to meet?
No.
Nothing like that going on?
I doubt it. They deal with this stuff all
Yeah,
the
I
time.
mean, the size of the project, the amount of electrical work, it's a fairly minor project, so we could get just the scale of it. We didn't attract the type of bidders that we were looking to get for it. On a side note, I think the one bidder admitted that their electrical estimator was on vacation. I was unable to complete
Yeah,
that,
that was
you know, but no, we think we're gonna generate some good positive competitiveness out of the proposals, and should be able to bring that in.
Thank you.
Joe, anything else you want to add? All in favor?
Quick question.
Oh, I'm sorry.
When will the work start?
Well, so we're basically, as of today, we would award to the contractors. We have to, we're trying to coordinate the change order proposals to occur in advance of the next.
For the 18th meeting, yeah.
So we'd be adding that in. The contractors at this point, given notice on the actions today, will start to execute their contracts, and it'll probably be within the next 30 days.
Yeah.
Comfortably.
May have been before September without the hiccup of the electrical,
Right.
so they'll mobilize.
motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. It's all approved.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, Joe. Welcome, Janie.
Okay. Next item I have is a resolution, a proposed resolution. Commissioner Litz returned from the County Commission Association meeting in August, and a number of counties were considering this resolution. County Commission Association of Pennsylvania has drafted it and asked the counties consider this, and this resolution would be encouraging the legislature and the governor's office to get a state budget passed and in place. There are obviously difficulties that the school districts, counties, municipalities, et cetera, face the longer an impasse goes. So you have it before you, and I'll just kind of hand it over to you then if you want to make any comments regarding it and consider action on it. And if there are any questions, I guess, in terms of the numbers and budget, et cetera, we can talk those through.
Well, I'll make a motion to adopt the resolution. It's nonpartisan, and it's just making sure that the taxpayers know we are looking out for them and hopefully encourage, and I'm not saying our legislators single-handedly are holding things up, but that the body in the whole looks upon it favorably to come to the table and work things out.
I'll second the motion. My reluctance to support this is because I think it means absolutely nothing in reality to the folks that are they're working at the pace that the everything's about negotiations up there, and my concern about mental health funding and talk about education reform and so on. Those are the things that you wish that those investments would be looked at and dealt with. This fact that they've missed their deadline and it's putting some pressure on some budgets throughout the Commonwealth. I'm aware of that, but I don't think this letter will do one thing to expedite that, I think this is more a feel good that we're doing something, and so I will sign it, but I just with my reluctance.
So we have a motion, a second. Any additional comments or questions?
No, I think it's the letter speaks for itself.
I'll add to Bob's comments. I agree that I think it'll have little to no effect. I've watched this now for several months, and it's not the first time we've had a budget impasse at the state level and being on the school board for many years. I understand the pressure on school boards and municipalities and counties. So we certainly all want to get the budget resolved, but to respond to one of the points you made, Commissioner Litz, that I think more important than the letter is having conversations with our legislators, and we were with all three of them, four of them briefly. Mr. Jones had to leave early, but anyway, yesterday, and they're very accessible. We can talk to, and I want to compliment our legislators for holding the line because, for example, starting out the year when the governor proposed his budget, there's a huge increase in our deficit with that, and the Senate has approved a budget proposal that would allow everybody to receive the funding that they had last year and negotiate the other aspects of the proposed budget that they couldn't agree on. So I think there are reasonable deals on the table, but it's a process that they have to work through, and I think our folks are representing our taxpayers very well, so I want to compliment them in that regard.
I changed my mind. I do have a comment.
Go ahead.
I just think that it's really important. The main point of the letter is to let the legislators know that we do not want this to become habitual year after year. Almost half of the years they've done this, and it's not acceptable. It puts us, we've had to borrow money and pay interest that they didn't reimburse us. There are consequences for municipalities, for the schools, and for the county that we cannot let become commonplace. It's wrong. We have to pass our budget on time. If we don't, what are they going to do? They're going to reprimand us. It's not right.
We are all in agreement, and we all want the budget to be passed, and it would be ideal if it were passed on time, but it's a process too, it's a negotiation. I heard, just this morning I met with Senator Gebhardt, and made a comment about, we wanna make sure it's a good deal rather than a quick deal.
That's 100% right. I mean, we talk about protecting the taxpayer, that's what this is about. I mean,
Right.
this is, if you wanna throw a couple extra $1 billion to the taxpayer, this will be solved today. But
Yeah.
that's why it's not an easy fix, and it's a process, and so that's, and I trust our duly elected delegation, doing the best that they can do, and they're all competent people, and looking out for Lebanon County taxpayers.
I just think people need to be paid, and the funding that we're carrying out duties that they assigned us to do, to deny us the funding that they have promised is not right. So I really feel that we should send the message that we expect future budgets to get done on time. If you have a budget at home and you have a car payment, you gotta make it. If you don't, you're pretty soon gonna lose your car and your privileges. And, you know, there's no consequences for the legislature as it is now. We need them to come to the table and work this out and get the budget passed, period.
Any additional comments, questions? All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Same sign. We'll sign that and send it along.
All right. Next item is a disabled veteran exemption. I just have one this week for veteran who has met the requirements for the program, and that is April LaPlaca of Creekside Drive, Lebanon.
I'll move to approve the rate release taxes.
Second?
Motion is second. Questions or comments? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Same sign.
Next is a hotel tax grant fund application. This is from the Drunken Smithy LLC at the Lebanon Valley Mall. They are seeking funding for their Spookvember 2025 event. Should be held, not sure I have the date on it. Oh, sorry, Spookvember would be November 1st and 2nd, 2025, inside the Lebanon Valley Mall. It is a play on last year's festival held at the end of October. They made a slight change to the date, mostly to avoid competing with the Renaissance Fair. They have a total project cost of $6,000. They're requesting $5,000. I will point out, this was
It's
brought up
more
before.
than, and it's more than, it's not 25% that they're contributing.
Right, a 25% match would be $1,500, not $1,000. So it's the max in terms of the percent match required for this would be $4,500.
I'll move that we approve $3,000.
3,000? I'll second that.
Motion and a second for $3,000 grant. Questions or comments? None, all in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Same sign.
Okay. I have been communication from the Clarence Shock board at Governor Dick to recommend the appointment to the board of Brett Balmer. This term would expire in 2028, and they have provided a resume.
I don't know, oh, is this it?
Balmer, and a letter of recommendation from a former board member, Chuck Allward. So recommending that.
It doesn't really say what he does or anything. I thought there was a resume. Am I looking at it wrong?
I don't think I have the resume right in front of me here. But it was,
Okay, I don't have it.
Move to approve this recommendation.
I'm not arguing against it, I'm just saying I never got the resume that it says is attached.
See, as you got that, I can tell you he's very well qualified, and
That's not a resume.
Right.
because I was there, because they conducted the interviews last month, and done public and voted in public.
Very well qualified.
Thank
copy
you.
of that. He was actually one of the applicants from the previous round several months ago, when we added, Phil Hess. So anyway, they had a great pool of applicants, and you couldn't, it was one of those, you could have tossed a coin to pick one, and we done well with any one of them. Wasn't part of the recommendation process, but sat through and listened to the interviews. You know, they were good people.
Thank you. I'll second the motion.
Motion is second. Questions or comments? All in favor of the
Quick
motion, please say aye. Oh, I'm sorry.
Two questions. One, does he replace Dave Eichler in that position?
Well, that's.
Well, it's not really a seat, but there was an open seat.
His
yeah.
expired, and so
Yeah.
there's an open seat.
It'll expire now, that one,
Yeah.
no. And then earlier, as a kind of a follow-up, Human Resources Director said that, if I remember correctly, that you approved the resignation of Park Ranger,
The elimination of the position.
the elimination of the position, so they took action on that as well publicly
Yes.
at one of the board meetings?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Glad to see things are moving toward sunshine.
And I think that's just a housekeeping thing for the board, because I don't think they've had a ranger,
Right.
you know, in service for a long time, so they just eliminated the
There's
position.
no need. Okay, so a motion second on the table to approve that recommendation. All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. Let's have it.
I can get you the resume. Mr. Palmer is from Mount Gretna. He's in the IT industry. He's a technology officer for a software group, and that's what I'm showing here. I can get you a copy of it, excuse me. Okay, and then the last item I have is an appointment, a recommendation for appointment of Pam Tricamo to the America 250 Committee, Lebanon. We received a letter, you received a letter from Bonnie Loy, the chair of the commission, recommending that Pam be added as a core committee member.
So moved.
Second,
Motion is second. Questions or comments?
nor does it may need it.
Do we know this person?
100%.
She's a hard worker. I can vouch for that.
Are there any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. Thank you, Pam. Good luck. It's a good group of people.
Well, as long as we're on the subject of America 250, I just want to let everybody know, September 13th from 11 to 4 at Hinkle Fest, the state has an America 250 van that each county is allowed to have once before July 4th next year, and that's when we're getting ours in Lebanon County. So there are several stations you could come out and there's 3 stations you could come out and do hands-on stuff. So if you're going to be at Hinkle Fest September 13th, please come out and visit the van, because this is our only opportunity in Lebanon County. And I did have America 250 hats if anybody has not gotten theirs yet, or Commissioner Phillips if you need more, since I know you've gotten a bunch of them. I have some with me. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Boy, talk about hit the ground running. We appoint her, and 30 seconds later, she's soliciting, selling hats. Good for you. Any other business will come before the board? No, I entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
And adjourn. Thank you all.